Well, hi, this is Kelly, and welcome to my review of the new Companion line of Moras. It's a fixed blade everydayer that you can just about see in the dark. Now, I can't help but think that Mora might be running out of ideas. Or maybe they just kind of see what works and roll the production in that direction. In any case, the new Companion line from Mora isn't really anything new. It's just a mashup of colors and serration offerings that copy to an almost exact degree the craft line Allaround. I mean, shoot, the knife uses the same handle, sheath, and unless I'm mistaken, even the same blade as the Allaround does. The only real difference beside the blaze orange color is the option of serrations and the new logo on the wrap. With the three models to choose from, including the plain edge, the serrated edge, and a blunt tip type rescue knife, you might want to check them out.
Alright, well, time for some more Mora reviews here, or a Mora review. This is the new Mora Companion. This is the Companion model. Let's see, F Rescue, and here would just be the regular Companion fluorescent F. I really got these because I wanted to try out Mora's serrations. I'm not a big fan of serrations, but Mora usually hits the nail on the head with stuff, so I wanted to check it out. I like the fluorescent color for survival stuff. Let's just say you're putting together a 5-piece kit, for example, and you're walking a half mile and you see that you left the zipper open on your pack and all your stuff got spread out across the woods. Well, then you can go back and find it easy. So that's why I like the fluorescent color. The reason I have these other guys spread out here, I'll go over that in just a minute, but you can see the serrations here are not really aggressive at all. It kind of reminds me of Victorinox's serrations on their Swiss tool blade. I have it here on my hip. And it's really nice for cutting fibrous material, but I'm not really a big fan of serrations. The way I see it, you're only going to use them in really 3 environments. The first one will be like in a commercial bakery where you're doing a lot of sawing through, say, dough, for example, or bread that has been already baked and you're just cutting it to put it in bags. I worked in that environment for a lot of years. Most of it was mechanized, but all the blades on the machines were serrated. So, yeah. That environment. And then the second environment would be, say, if you're a sailor or you're cutting fibrous material all day and you need to, and you're on an unstable platform on a boat, for example, and you need your blade to bite into what you're cutting so that you don't actually your knife doesn't slide. It's easier to control. You're cutting a lot of fibrous rope and you could use it for that. And thirdly would be rescue. I'm an emergency medical technician. I've been to my share of vehicle accidents. We don't ever use knives to cut people out of cars. We have dedicated seatbelt cutters, shears, that type of things. So they also make a companion like this they call the Rescue. It's serrated like that as well, and then it has a blunt tip. Not really a big fan of that stuff. There's just too much of a risk cutting the patient. I mean, if you want to stock up a kit for your car, I personally would recommend staying away from serrated blunt tip knives. Go with shears and seatbelt cutters. That way you don't cut people if you do have to, pull them out of a car. The reason I got these other guys out right here is because I want to show you there's really not that much difference between the new Companion model and some of the other ones that exist. In fact, there's very, very little. The sheaths are identical. This is the top Q, or high Q rather, right here. Same sheath, same handle, slightly smaller blade. Then you got your craft line right here, same sheath, same handle with a different wrap, approximately the same size blade. And you got your old school clipper here, same handle, different wrap, approximately the same sheath. And then of course the Companions have the same sheath, same less than 1/10 inch thick blade stock. Everything is very similar. In fact, the only reason you'd want to buy one of the new Companions if you just want them in fluorescent oranges. If you have an all-around or a high Q, for example, even an old clipper, you're really not going to get that much more cutting power out of the new Companion line. But it's $12, between $10 and $15 for these knives, and they're inexpensive and they're fun to collect. So yeah, there you have it.
Okay, the whole package weighs in at just a few ounces. The blade is Sandvik's 12C27 steel unless Mora made an unannounced change, and it's illustrated nicely with a logo stamp and transitions into the handle cleanly with no plastic overmolding to be seen. The blade's the same as the all-around, not including the serrations, and you can get it in plain as well, I think it's 0.98 inches thick with a nice logoing on the handle as well. Now the sheath is great. It has nice retention, blinding blaze orange, typical Mora plastic with a drain hole, and a nice belt clip that works. I can see why Mora uses these sheaths for the majority of their new offerings. Hey, it's just great. Application for the serrated version is fibrous material cutting in a setting that requires hi-viz stuff, like maybe land clearing projects or something like that. The serrations are similar to Victorinox offerings and not quite as aggressive as, say, Spyderco, but I still think a plain edge is the way to go for the overwhelming majority of users. The only reason I don't own a Gerber ASEC is because of the partially serrated blade. Chiseled ground teeth just don't hold up to hard use. But Mora's got kind of an edge here because of their inherent design of the Scandi grind. The serrations are chiseled, however they do ride right on the edge of the long grind, and that contributes to the longevity and wear resistance of the serrations. If I had to choose a serration type, this would be close to the top of the list. Hey, in a nutshell, the Companion is not a new offering. It's a good Mora, it's a solid cutter, and it's easy to see. It's the more refined type of Mora with the finished spine rather than the ugly unfinished steel, but it's still a partial tang knife. I don't think they're available in 1095 carbon, but I might be wrong. Look, if you need a Mora in hi-viz, go for it. But if you have one of the many similarly sized offerings, and you're not into collecting knives, don't bother. It's just kind of more of the same thing. Get it? Alright, thanks for watching. I'll try and keep them coming.